What is up, guys? It is Aaron and welcome back to the channel. It has been a minute since I've uploaded and there is a reason for that, and there was something that happened with one of my batteries at school. I'll talk about that in a different video if you guys want to know what happened. But yeah, basically I'm doing a completely different type of video today. Just fix that for you. There you go. What I'm doing is I am I am making a chisel. I made one last night and it's like a carving chisel, so I'll use this stuff for like carving wood, carving designs into wood and stuff like that. So I made this yesterday, and I'm going to make a chisel with a wider tip at the front, because that's just for like going around edges and stuff, just to chisel out the edges and not actually chisel out the actual wood in between the edges. So that's what this one's going to be for. As you can tell, this one's longer than this one. But there's 4 processes I had to get, 4 or 5 processes I had to do, I had to go through to get it to like this, and I've got the processes here. So basically, where this metal came from was one of my RC cars, and I've had it in for ages. It was from the Tamco, and it was like a little bit that slotted into the front of the car to hold the upper A arms on, and they've just been sitting in my toolbox for ages, not been doing anything. So, got these out, and what I'd done was here. So they were first into this, then I straightened them both out, and then I beveled the edges for the blade, and then I sharpened the blade. So basically, beveling the edges is like you're putting in the design and for the blade, so you're putting in where the blade's going to go, basically, which is what I've done here. And as you can see here at the end, that's where it's been sharpened and that's where it's been beveled. And I want to say as well, before I start any of this and I start showing you how to make this as well, make sure you're not a dumbass, okay? If you're under the age or something of not being able to use any of this equipment, don't use it. If your parents are like, okay, you can do that as long as it's my supervision, do it with your parents' supervision, or just let your parents do it for you. Or, you know, just make sure you're safe. So what you're going to need is a propane torch. This is a very cheap one. What this is just the a top attachment, and you can get like one of these little butane cans for like $5. This here you can go get off Amazon, eBay, or even at a shop for like $5 as well. So that's $10 right there, quite cheap. Now there's 2 things you can use to clamp the bit of metal on while you're melting it down. What I really want to use is this, because this will give it like a really solid clamp into it, so I wouldn't be wiggling about while I'm hammering into it. But what could also work is one of these little clamp things, whatever they're called. Someone write in the comments for me. So basically what this will do is you can set the depth of what you want to clamp something, go off, put something around it, clamp it in, and it'll stay shut. Now this isn't exactly the best option because it will wiggle around, and you see there's like that hole there. You don't want that while you're doing this kind of thing, so you're best to go with something like this so you can hold it like this and just hammer into it. Well, obviously the other thing you're going to need is a hammer so you can bevel in the edges. Now this hammer is going to be slightly too heavy for the thin wood, so basically what I'm going to be using is just a normal hammer like this. I was using it last night and it worked pretty well, so yeah, I'm just going to be using that as well. And what you'll also need is a bucket of water. And basically what we need the bucket of water for is heat treating. Basically heat treating is where you harden up the inside of the blade, but you don't want to do it too much, because if you harden up the blade too much, it'll shatter like glass. So I'm just going to start it off for you. I'm just going to show you guys through the processes, explain how to do it and how to be safe while doing it. So let's get to it. Actually, sorry, I forgot to mention this. This is something you're going to need as well, like a bench grinder or just hand grinder or anything, because it's quite quiet. For a grinder, it is very quiet, but also very powerful. Do not fuck with this. Do not put your fingers in there. Don't be a dumbass. Now obviously I've done the first 2 processes off camera, because I did it all last night, and I thought, oh hey, I'll just do this for you guys. So what I'm going to start doing now is beveling the edges. Okay, so I've just turned this on just now. Just going to go off and bring these guys in closer. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go off and clamp in a bit of metal into here. And then after I've clamped this in, I'm going to start heating it up on the tip, and then I'm going to start hammering. Now while you're heating this up, you want to make sure that you're heating it up evenly, so you want to be moving it about forwards and backwards just like this, making sure none of the metal will bend. Now usually this metal will heat up quite quickly, and as you can see just now the flame is turning. I'm not sure if you guys can see that or not, so I'm just going to go off and show you. You see it's a blue flame, but when I go off and stick this in, it'll change colour from blue to red at the end, and that'll show you that it's starting to get warm. And as I can see right now, the tip of this is starting to get red. So what I'm going to keep doing is I'm just going to keep turning this Wait until it gets red hot, like it is now. Oh, crap. Don't drop it. Move over to here, start hammering. Turn it over each time you hammer it as well. So I'm just heating this up as well again, making sure the heat is distributed evenly throughout it. Now when you're hammering it, you don't want to hammer it too hard, otherwise you are just going to bend the plastic and it's not going to look nice at the end. So once this heats up again, I'm going to show you, because I noticed I didn't get a good enough angle on what I was doing. This still isn't a good angle. I'm going to go off and move the tripod. That's a little better. So yeah, just letting this heat up. See the flame starting to turn. Now you want it to be red hot, just like that, okay? There you go. Start hitting it on both sides, turn it over, keep hammering. So yeah, there you go. Now sometimes it will slip, and once you do start to feel it slip, just tighten it back up as hard as you can, without burning yourself. And then you can see here, it's starting to take shape, but you can see that it's gone squint. So what you're basically going to start doing is putting it sideways, hitting it sideways, okay? I think after this couple of hits, it's going to be finished. Yep, that's it. Turn this off. There you go. Now this is what it should look like so far. You can see this bit here is quite a bit wider than the other one. You can see this one here, and then this one is quite a bit wider. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start heat treating this blade, well not blade, this chisel. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up mostly the whole thing. I'm going to have to do it in little bits though, because I've only got one of those things, whatever they're called, forgotten. But yeah, basically I'm just going to let this dry off in the air real quick, then I'm going to go off, fill a bucket of water up. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go off, heat it up till it's like reddish, well not bright red, you don't want it to be bright red, because then when you go off quench it in the water it'll be too hard. So I think around about the colour, what is it? A dark red, not like a deep dark red, just slight red, okay? Okay, so while that's heating up, basically I've just got a bucket of water here, and all it's going to be doing is just going to be taking it off the vise, putting it into the water, then taking it back out and straightening it out. So we'll start moving this slightly down, because right now it's only getting the tip of it. There we go, that's perfect. So what I'm going to do now, go off, let it heat up a couple seconds more, take it out, put it in. There you go, that's a heat treat. Now I'm going to go off, do the same for the rest of this bit down here, because, you know, I don't want to be leaving it just one bit heat treated and the rest of it not being heat treated. So clamp it on the vise, move it down a bit. That's going to heat up. Now, because that bit's a thicker bit, it's going to take a little bit longer to heat up. So, yeah, I need to keep a close eye on it as well, just to make sure, you know, nothing's going to be bending while it's heating up. Closer. There you go. Right, I think I'm going to heat it up halfway down the stick. And then I'm going to upset the end so I have something to hit. Actually, I'm just going to go off and hold this. Just going to go off and get a nice even heat. It's a very long process, all of this, so this isn't the type of video you really like, then tough. Yeah. Day in the life. Come on. Okay. There you go, now it's starting to go red. Hold it there. There you go. Out. Water. And that's a heat trade. Now we're on to the last little process, and then now we're going to be using the machine that I showed you guys last, the bench grinder, to grind the edge into this, because just now it doesn't have much of a point. So now that everything's trued up and strained up, let's just get to it. Now this is the reason why I'm wearing a leather jacket as well, so if sparks do come off onto my clothes, I'm not going to catch fire. I'm going to turn this machine on. I'll actually see if I can get a slow-mo shot of this, because it's going to be quite cool. Let's get to it. Take this off. Wear safety goggles as well, like I am, because safety. Right, I'm going to go dip this in the water as well, because while you're doing this you don't want it to get too hot, because then you'll use the integrity, well not the integrity, but you'll lose the shape of the blade, and then it won't be as sharp when you come out in the finish. So make sure you have the water close to you while you're doing this. And because this is so thin, you will be very soft on grinding off the edge. I'm going to go off and do here is straighten this out. There you go. It's pretty straight. A little bit. There you go. Point back into it. Make sure it's nice and cool. And that's it. Yep, there we go. And this is what you should end up with. Very nice, sharp blade. And now what I'm going to do as the final process is I'm going to upset the head. And basically what that's going to do is that's going to give me something to hit on the top. And I'll just explain to you guys, because it's easier to explain while I'm doing it. Now to upset the head, you want to make sure that your chisel is very, very hard into the vise. It's clamped in very hard. When you hit the top, it's not going to move. So that's exactly what you want. You want to clamp it in as hard as you can so it's not going to move. Then you want to go and get your butane, or whatever the hell you use, and light it. This stupid match will go up. There you go. No, don't you dare go out. Thank you. Nope, it went out. Fuck you. Let's try that again. There you go. First time. Then you're just going to want to start heating up the top of this. It will take a few seconds because it is a lot thicker than the rest of the metal we've been working with. So you can be a little bit more rough with it, and you can basically get it to the form that you want to without having to worry about warping or bending of the metal. So that's heating up just now. Go off and keep moving this around. You don't need to put it around all the way, just keep moving it around halfway. Just so you can get a nice even heat. Turn it up a bit more. And remember, you'll start to see the flame change colour, which you can see it's doing just now. That's telling you that it's heating up. Now once you actually see the metal itself going red hot, that's when you can start hammering on the top. And again, this does take a wee time, but we'll get there eventually. You'll go off and find the sweet spot as well for heating it up. So at the tip of the inner blue flame will be where it's the hottest. And that's where you want to be heating up. Look. See, I had the sweet spot earlier on. Oh, now I've got it. There you go. See, I'm moving back and forth, into it and out of it. There you go. Start hitting on the top. When it starts to move out of shape, just hit it off to the right, off to the left. There you go, start hitting on the top again. Setting the head. Now if it does start to go squint, there's something you can do to fix that. Take it out real quick, make sure that the bottom isn't hot. You only have a few seconds to do this. Clamp it back into the vise, and that'll strain it out. And you go off to bring the heat back up to it. Go off and move this down. And you only want it to be like a couple of centimeters up. You don't want it to be too far down, because then it's just gonna bend like it just did just now. In. Okay, so upsetting the head, that's basically what upsetting the head does. It makes that little dimple at the top so you have something to hit at the top. I didn't do that very well, so I'm going to go back off camera and not waste much of your time. But this is an example of a good upset head. That's a really good example of it, because last night I was just like randomly working. Today I'm a bit rushed because I'm meeting up with someone. So yeah. So these are the two chisels that I made. One is for carving out the edge, the other is for carving out the wood between the edges. That's this one for carving out the edges, I think, and this one for carving out the rest. So yeah, hopefully you guys learned something today about heat treating, about just in general about metalwork or forging. No, this isn't like proper forging. If you guys want me to do proper forging, I can see if I can do that. I can see if I've got spare metal around somewhere. But yeah, please don't forget to like, subscribe and share with friends, and I'll see you guys in this video. See ya!